king, a figure of enduring national presence, found himself compelled to step back from his demanding schedule, a stark reminder of the human vulnerability that even royalty cannot escape. Today, the carefully orchestrated rhythm of his engagements was disrupted, the meticulously planned itinerary set aside, as the effects of his ongoing cancer treatment necessitated a pause. The 76-year-old monarch, a symbol of steadfast duty and unwavering commitment, had attended a routine medical appointment, a procedural step in his battle against the insidious disease. However, the aftermath of this procedure brought with it a series of temporary side effects, an unwelcome intrusion that required a period of observation within the sterile confines of a hospital room. The news, while concerning, was met with a measured response from the royal household. Sources, speaking with quiet assurance, described the incident as a most minor bump in a road that's very much heading in the right direction. These words, carefully chosen, sought to reassure a nation that had watched its monarch navigate a challenging health journey with remarkable fortitude. The emphasis was placed firmly on the positive trajectory of his recovery, the assertion that this temporary setback was an expected, almost predictable part of the process. Yet, the need to prioritize his health, to allow his body the necessary time to recover, led to the unavoidable cancellation of his engagements in Birmingham. The city, which had anticipated the royal presence, would have to wait. Royal insiders, keen to prevent any undue alarm, stressed that there was no drama surrounding the king's brief hospitalization. It was, they reiterated, a precautionary measure, a direct consequence of his medical treatment. The delicate balance between transparency and privacy, so often navigated by the royal family, was once again at play. While acknowledging the natural concerns that would arise, the sources sought to paint a picture of a routine medical step, not a sudden deterioration. King's cancer diagnosis, revealed over a year ago, had cast a shadow over his reign. The palace, while confirming the presence of the disease, had maintained a careful veil of secrecy regarding its specific nature. This decision, while respecting the king's right to medical privacy, had also fueled a sense of quiet anxiety among the public. What was clear, however, was that the cancer was unrelated to the prostate surgery he had undergone in January of the previous year. It was during that procedure, a seemingly routine intervention, that the presence of cancer was discovered, leading to the initiation of his treatment. The early detection, a stroke of fortunate timing, allowed for a proactive and comprehensive treatment plan. Despite the ongoing medical challenges, the king had continued to fulfill his royal duties with remarkable dedication. The carefully calibrated schedule of public appearances and state responsibilities, a testament to his commitment to service, had remained largely unaffected. His ability to engage with the public, to carry out his duties as sovereign, had been a source of inspiration, a demonstration of his resilience. Palace, in its statements, reiterated that this stance remained unchanged, that the temporary interruption was not indicative of a shift in his commitment. Just days prior, the king had appeared in public, his presence a reassuring sight. He had attended an exhibition on soil health, engaging with members of the farming community, a group whose work was close to his heart. Later that day, he had hosted a reception at Buckingham Palace, welcoming 400 members of the regional media. During both events, he had appeared to be in good spirits, his demeanor positive, his engagement genuine. He had stood for over an hour, meeting and conversing with guests, a testament to his physical stamina and his unwavering dedication. Queen Camilla, his steadfast companion and unwavering support, had previously expressed concern over his reluctance to slow down. She had witnessed firsthand his deep dedication to his work, his determination to continue serving the nation despite his medical condition. King, in turn, had sought to be as open as possible with the public, balancing transparency with his right to medical privacy. This delicate dance between public duty and personal health had become a defining aspect of his reign. The specific nature of the side effects he experienced today remained undisclosed, a matter of medical confidentiality. Palace sources, however, stressed that such effects were not uncommon in various medical treatments. They sought to reassure that while the temporary effects required hospital observation, they were not indicative of a worsening health situation. King's health, they insisted, remained on a positive trajectory. Clarence House, his residence, the king had reportedly been in good form last night, reviewing state papers and making calls from his study. His ability to resume work so quickly after his hospital visit further underscored the assertion that his recovery was progressing well. The visit to the London clinic, the same facility that had cared for him in the past, was described as routine, a standard medical observation. He had traveled to and from the hospital by car, a sign that the visit was not deemed an emergency. Notably, Queen Camilla had not accompanied him, suggesting that it was a routine matter rather than an urgent concern. A spokesperson for Buckingham Palace issued a statement, a carefully worded message that sought to balance transparency with discretion. The statement confirmed the king's scheduled medical treatment, the subsequent side effects, and the resulting postponement of his engagements. It also conveyed the king's apologies to those who would be inconvenienced or disappointed. Among the engagements that had to be postponed was an official ceremony where the king was set to receive credentials from the ambassadors of 3 different nations. This ceremony, a symbolic act of diplomacy, would have to be rescheduled. In addition, for public engagements in Birmingham, a city eager to welcome its monarch, were also cancelled. King, it was said, was deeply disappointed by these cancellations, as he had been looking forward to these events. He had expressed his regret to all those involved in the planning and organization, reassuring them of his commitment to rescheduling. Despite the ongoing concerns about his health, the palace remained optimistic about his recovery. It was understood that the king was responding well to his treatment, and while occasional interruptions might occur, his medical team remained confident in his prognosis. The royal family, a pillar of support throughout his health struggles, had rallied around him. There was no indication that his illness would force him to step back from his role. As the head of state, he continued to balance his treatment with his responsibilities, ensuring that his work on behalf of the nation remained a priority. King's openness about his diagnosis, a departure from the traditional reticence of the royal family, was intended to encourage public awareness and understanding of cancer. He hoped that by sharing his journey, he could help remove some of the stigma surrounding the disease and its treatment. This act of transparency, while personal, also served a broader purpose, contributing to the national conversation on health and resilience. For now, the king remained steadfast in his commitment to his role. The temporary side effects of his treatment, while requiring a brief period of rest, had not altered his overall recovery trajectory. His dedication to his work, his determination to continue fulfilling his duties, underscored his resilience as a leader. His Majesty's health journey, a public narrative of strength and perseverance, served as a reminder of the challenges faced by those navigating serious medical conditions, even those in positions of national leadership. Though he might face challenges along the way, the king's spirit and unwavering commitment to his role remained evident.